What's going on, y'all? Peace and light, peace and love. Thank you for connecting and checking in with us here on the Sirius Cypher. Thus far, we got the Goddess Rah who popped into the building. And once she gets situated, we gonna let her say what's going on. Beautiful goddess, how are you today? Well, hold on. Here we go. What's happening, sis? Hold on. How you feeling? I can't hear you. You're on mute, and
I am.
you on mute, sis.
How are you?
I'm doing well today. Very well, thank you. How you feeling? Well, yeah, I was about to say I can't get. I can put you.
Let me get it together.
I can mute you, but I can't unmute you. That's I guess that's the divine's way of making a little jokey joke.
Let's see.
All right. This energy, let me tell you something, is off the hook right about now. And I don't know, how have you been experiencing? Has it been like intense for you? How's it been?
Well, I stay in my lane. So, and just in my own, in my own space by myself is probably me and my son. So I just stay out of the way. So I've been cool.
Yeah. I stay out of the way, and my change is all in my head. It's all internal. It's all, and I sit in here, and a lot of times, my husband will be like in another side of the house. I'll be in my room, and I'll just be feeling a whole bunch of ways. Lately, it's been just like hard for me to like find this motivation to like do just about like anything. I ain't been motivated to do shit, but like sit on the couch, smoke bud, drink.
You know what? Yeah, well, that, and I'm looking like, man, am I supposed to be doing something? But I'm like, I just sit and chill. Like, what is this? This is peace. Enjoy the peace. So that's what I do.
I'm telling you something. I'm feeling non-apologetic. Usually I'm beating myself up for not putting, any type of effort and doing the work and all of this other shit. This energy is a little different because I'm good with not being motivated to do nothing. It's like, it's back to that energy I was experiencing before where I was highly motivated to do absolutely nothing. But now it seems more that I have this grounded focus. It used to feel like I would think about doing like minute tasks, getting ready for my classes or whatever in the hell. And it would seem like it would take like all of this energy that I had to muster and shit. But now it's almost as if there's been a shift in the reality for me to where even if I don't feel like do it, I'll do it. And I'll notice that it's over with and I'm relieved and it's good now. You know what I'm saying? A different vibe.
I made myself get up and take a walk, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm good now. And it's just the energy starts to flow. But when I'm in the relaxed state, I'm there, and I don't have a problem with it. But in my mind, I'm telling myself that, okay, I'm supposed to be doing something. No, I guess I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not supposed to be doing anything. So stop telling myself that. Just do what it is that I feel like I need to be doing. Right now, it's just laying here by the window with the window up and listening to the rain and sleeping.
That's what I'm talking
That's what it was. So that's what I did. And then I got up and I took a shower, then I took a walk.
Yeah. I got to get out and take me a nice walk yesterday. Well, I was rapping with you when I was taking my little
right.
It was nice. Today, I didn't really get to do too much of that. I'm waiting on the damn post office to come and drop my package off, and somebody got to be here to sign for it. That ruined my whole damn day. Sometimes they come early in the morning, not early in the morning, like 10 o'clock. I suppose that's early for the mailman. But this particular special time, they didn't show up until somewhere around 5-ish. I guess they thought that I had a job and was trying to be courteous. So I can appreciate that. I'm sitting up there, where my package? Where my package at? Where the tracking number? Let's see what the hell's going on here. You know? So that was, that's about it and everything. But listen, oh man, and this is this moon that we are experiencing. What I noticed is that we shifted, because yesterday, day before, we was in that Cancer moon energy, and so all in the feelings and everything, right? And then we moved and shifted, and I can feel that shift in that energy of that Leo energy of me feeling like motivated, me feeling like a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more inspired to interact and connect. I think you calling me was like the thing, it was the medicine that I needed, because I had been like totally like off the grid for a minute there, and I was kind of feeling like isolated and everything. So it was really good, to talk to somebody and check in and shit. So,
Yeah, that's always good. I mean, we were, yeah, that was a good conversation.
Whoa.
Yes.
Always a dynamic conversation with a priestess.
Yes, ma'am.
This is something that I have absolutely observed. It is always, and we tend to have these conversations and everything. I'm one of those people that will completely like isolate myself unknowingly. It's not like by intention or anything, it's just that it doesn't really ever occur to me to like reach out to people. I just be in my own world and just like, spinning 100 miles a minute and shit, and like, oh, maybe I'll read this, do this, and I'm just in the house in my own world. And for somebody to pull me up out of that sometimes is like probably like the breath of life I need and shit. And so that Leo energy, that Leo moon that just kicked in, it definitely helped me to get that energetic boost to really start to feel connected to folks out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? So I was definitely feeling in a good space. It was that, God damn it, energy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, let's get it. And had to make sure, like you said, I stayed the hell out of the way, because sometimes when I get into that bold and bodacious energy and everything, I'll almost, you would think that I was a Sagittarius, because I got that bow and arrow, boom, and hit somebody with some raw truth, and then I'll defend folks in these streets, and it has
can't handle it.
That they wasn't ready to deal with it.
Nope.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah. And Mercury being all in retrograde, we are worried about that, but this is absolutely a time for us to really begin to watch what we talking, and how we operating out here in these streets. I grab me up some grapes just to get a little something. I was ripping and running today, around the house, of course, the damn mailman, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm running up and down. I'm like, I'm gonna get this shit organized. Now, I was telling you, I'm trying to put my herbs in a jar so that I can have them all organized. But then I realized I don't have any shelves or any place for them to go. So now I gotta rethink my plan. So there's that. But lunar eclipse is coming up too. Shit, I forgot about that. This is some powerful energy to work with, and today right now is like a really good day to work with that transformation energy, all the way up into this eclipse that's going down on the 4th, I believe it is. And this is Scorpio moon, the Scorpio full moon. So this is definitely going to help us support any changes or any of that shit that we're trying to make right now. And this is an opportunity for us to really take some inventory over the things that we see that's important. And we having this sun in Taurus, this is really a time for us to look at our values and the things that's important that we hold near and dear, right? But this Scorpio energy with this eclipse is going to bring this special energy that's really going to help to propel us into positions that we want to be in if we work with this energy. I know that I like to laugh about it because it seemed like in astrology, we like, oh, this is powerful, nigga. You need to get with this moon energy. You need to work with this moon. I'm telling you, your life will change. But I'm telling you that if you work with these energies in these moons, you will begin to see some real progress. It's for real. It is not a game. I bullshit you not. And these are opportunities. These are windows of opportunity so that we can be like, what is that? Have that bird's eye view, right? Of planting some sincere intentions, on the direction that we want to go in. So, it's always gangster on that and everything. So, yeah. Woo, we gonna get into this subject of magnetism, but I just wanted to go over like a whole lot of like in-house shit, because people come in the middle of discussion and shit like that. We don't want to see that happening and everything. But one of the things that the astronaut warrior, she asked me, which is something that you and her seem to note, that the topics that we discuss here on the Cypher. And I just also want to make sure that I'm putting that out there, that I definitely want to see everybody's input if they have something that's on their mind and in their heart that they want to chop up at the Cypher. It is a time for us to be doing that, and Spirit has definitely let me know that there's a lot of things that the Soul family, have been observing as well. And so I know that I ain't the only cat in these streets that Spirit is speaking to. So, I'm just wanting to encourage us, let's get it. That parallel universes that we talked about, Goddess, let me tell you something, sis. I think we need some more time with that, because then I started getting all of these downloads and all of this extra information on that shit after the fact. And I said, you know what? This is probably something we're going to need to revisit.
I agree.
Yeah, because we only really like touched the surface on that and shit like that. And I would really like for us to really be able to make sure that we're talking about how we're observing it, so that people can really catch that shit, because there's some real potential. This is just like with this energy right here, some real potential to make some serious shifts in our lives, some serious shifts, by being able to recognize how this quantum reality thing works. We can start really understanding just how it is imperative that we work with astrology. I'm always coming from that perspective to give us the tools that we need so that we can make better choices as we start moving forward and navigating. So if we trying to get a business started and everything, it's going to be good to make sure we get an opportunity to look at the chart so that we can get an idea of how the energy is going to affect us, so that we can make those necessary adjustments. I'm going to always look at it that way, but we bring some shit like that to the table. Somebody else is seeing it another way because they ain't looking at it through astrology eyes. You heard? So, we can definitely go in all day with that. I definitely see how that's going. Did you hear about that lady who accused Emmett Till of assaulting her? She passed away.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. And she was never held accountable for the shit she started in these streets. So yeah, I'm wondering, is she gonna be held accountable now?
At some point. But I watched a few documentaries with Emmett Till, and I know some of the people that, well, the guys that, I can't remember if they were family members or friends, something, but they said that he did whistle at the lady. He said something to her. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened with that.
Shit. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But but that's what I'm saying. Like, like as a Black man or a young was he a teenager at the time? I think he was still
Teenager, 14.
like,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, like you're not allowed to express yourself out here in these streets, and like it's okay for them to do that shit, but we express ourselves, it's a problem. And then the whole thing, well, you should have known better, you should have been
Right,
whistling
and I'm sure it wasn't disrespectful now, and
right.
it was just, yeah, I'm sure. You know what? I keep him on my altar. Look.
Girl, me too. Oh shit, I got a background. I'm sorry. I'm about to say too. I'm all pointing at the space. Because let me tell you, I went to a workshop. I believe that was Miss Blue and Brother Bilal. And I'm gonna share that though, because there's some prosperity in Emmett Till's name.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And dealing with that shit, his name absolutely means Emmett Till. Till means money. It means
yes, money, Mississippi, was it?
Right. And Emmett, when you look that up, it means to bring forth. And that's gangster. My husband's name is Emmett. You know what I'm saying? Yes. My husband's name is Emmett. And I thought that was just so gangster. You know what I'm saying?
You can work with that.
Right. Put your name up on there with a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because roughly translated, like our last name means beauty, whatever. I'll take that too, though. But but that's a powerful thing to work with, like working with Emmett Till and his energy, and just really making sure that you observe him and pay homage to him, and really work with him in discussing some things about money, because that's what he does. I'm sure that when he was in this life, he probably didn't have your economic plan down for you. However,
right, he was 14.
Living life. Like, you know what? That's a good option. You use that one. However, but when you get yourself in alignment with bringing forth that currency, you'll start to notice that more opportunities to bring that shit into your life start to appear. It is so gangster working with that. So, definitely, if you ain't hip, get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a time. Let's all prosper out here in these streets, shall we?
Let's get it.
No, yes, indeed. So yeah, Harry Belafonte, ashe to them. To Emmett Till, of course, ashe to Emmett Till, but Harry Belafonte passed away at 96 years old. So ashe to him. I'm not, I know he was an actor and everything. I ain't really follow him. I wasn't in his, you know what I'm saying?
Me either.
I wasn't a fan of his like that and everything, but I will respect it. I will say, well, brother, you live to be a geezer of my fam. So, high five, shout out, and much love, and ashe to you. Jerry Springer died. Oh my goodness. So, who are
I
we
saw
gonna
that.
show our titties to?
I can't believe he still had a show at this. Interesting.
For what is that, the little flower necklace delay? Who are we going to show our boobies to now? What are we going to do? I don't know. There's a void in there out here now, so we need somebody to assist us in making that happen. Whatever. So any downloads, any news we can use, anything that's going down that's in your heart that you would like to share? Peace, Brother Dante.
Hello, Dante.
Well, he connecting to the audio, so Oh, he did also tell me, that he's working, so he's gonna have his headphones on, and and chip in whenever he can. So So much love to Brother Dante, showing support while he at work and whatnot.
Well, while I was, sitting and listening to the rain today, and wondering, like, why don't I want? I mean, what can I be doing while I'm sitting here? So I'm just asking myself questions, and I was thinking about, how we were talking about the Black Panther, and and we were talking about the passion, and I noticed that the card that I pick a lot is passion.
Wow.
And yeah, I didn't think about that when we were talking. So I was just asking myself questions like, what do I want to bring more of into my life? Or what do I want to activate within me and bring forward and out? So those were some things that I just sat back and, started to ask myself. I think I fell asleep after that. But
Okay.
yeah,
Ooh,
let's see. And I wrote some other things down, but yeah, those are just some questions that came to me for right now, like not like past stuff, or it's just for like right now in this moment and in the energy that is right now.
absolutely. And that's right on time for what we talking about is this magnetism, right? And the things that we attract to us, you know, and this is a time right now where, again, I say it's imperative for us to be really clear on what we truly want in life. There have been many times because in my life, I would think that I would want something and get
Mm-hmm.
myself all prepared for it and find out I'm in a space I don't want to be in. So, this is definitely an on time subject because we get an opportunity to work with the energy so that it can support us with our true intentions. All right, peace, Brother Dante. I see you in the house. Just say what's up whenever you got something to say. I know you doing your thing. But magnetism, let me tell you. So I went and I said, let me make sure because I want to get the lay term, right? And so magnetism, it says, is a physical phenomenon produced by the motion of electric charge, resulting in an attractive and repulsive forces between objects. So this is opposite energy, bringing it together, the ability. And then also on the other level, magnetism can also be the ability to attract and charm people as well. You know what I'm saying? And all of those things, they work together for magnetism. But I was looking to see like if there were, well, there is a lot of work out there on magnetism, especially on the social level, where to tell you, all of the things that you want to do to win friends and influence people. Dale Carnegie put that book out there, How to Win Friends and Influence People back in the day. I read that book 100 years ago. But magnetism itself, it speaks to some principles that translate that, that whole, what is that correspondence? As above, so below. And you see that scientifically when you see these magnets, how they attract, how they repel each other. And I also wrote a passage in my book, and the more I learn, the more I grow, the more that I expand in my consciousness. I get so limited into my way of thinking and what's familiar to me, that I leave out some possibilities because they ain't even really crossed my mind. But I thought about that attraction energy and how you end up attracting or repelling those things that you want unknowingly because you're showing up in the same energy. And when you show up in the same energy, sometimes in relationships, you end up repelling them. So then you get this story out here about women that are looking, they're single, they're looking to have someone in their lives. And then there's so many men that will say, well, no, she's too masculine. These women, they got it's too much masculine energy out here. The women is too hard and everything. What are your thoughts on that, where when men are saying that, and what do you think women need to do in order to be able to move forward in a place that's kind of working for them as well? Do you have any thoughts? Well, I'm going to tell you what I think. Let y'all sip on that for a second, because I'm going to tell you that's some shit to unpack. When I first started hearing that discussion, it made me stop and look and check myself, because I got a lot of masculine energy, you know? And one thing that I know is that if I'm in a heavy masculine energy, like that doesn't attract my husband. Like, I'm not getting laid in masculine energy. You need to know, right? Okay, let's be 100% clear. Fuck what you heard. Okay, it ain't going down.
It's a turn off. Yes.
Right, no, right. Don't nobody with a nigga. What the fuck, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And you think whatever, okay? Now, we can argue that point, sis. I'm in your corner. I mean, I'm gonna support you, but whatever. All right. However, let me say, we got a whole lot of dudes that's out here though, navigating these streets, saying that women need to make some adjustment. My main argument is that many women are doing the very best that they can. And when you're doing it alone, when you're trying to make things happen, especially me, I had a single mother experience for a gap of time. And that was a time where I was really heavily in masculine energy, because it was about me making that shit happen, and I had 2 daughters to raise, and I was going to school and I was working and I was making shit happen. And I would get a lot of resistance. Like, I was going through a pretty tough cycle. Like, y'all need to know, I paid the fucking cost karmically. I don't know who I pissed off in these spiritual streets, but I'm sorry. Anyway, because I went through hell coming through these career days. I got the business out here in these streets. You need to know that. However, it put me in a masculine energy. So I'm about the business of getting shit done, and it's going to be really hard for me to relinquish that shit. And I don't know you, and you know what I'm saying? And many of us, we've been in spaces where our hearts have been broken, we've been compromised, we've trusted people, and we weren't able to move forward. And that makes you kind of toughen up, especially if somebody has made a fool out of you, especially if somebody has taken advantage of your kindness, especially if someone has broken your heart. It hardens you. And I don't think that a lot of these brothers that are out here are putting that into consideration when they handle a lot of these women that they say are in masculine energy. Now, I ain't talking about the ones that's in masculine energy that cut their hair low, that got on Fruit of the Looms, there's a dick hole in their drawers. You get to do that. It's cool, sis. My thing is, I'm talking about the women that's trying to attract a man in this energy, a masculine male, not the brother with the skirt, not that dude, but the man, the guy's guy. You understand? And like I said, because wasn't expansive, that shit hadn't been in my circle. I do realize that everybody got their preference, and you get to do you. You do. But don't get mad at me when I tell you that, I see shit differently. I do. That don't mean I don't love you though, fam. I love you. But I just see the world a little differently. However, when we attracting, we really are going to reach towards those opposites. It's very difficult for women who have been through traumatic experiences, who've been in positions to where they can't count on anyone but themselves. At the end of the day, it shifts your energy. It takes that softness away. Just like the innocence of a child gets taken away once they realize Santa Claus is no longer real. You understand? The tooth fairy don't exist no more. You awaken to realities of this world and possibilities that change you on an emotional level. And I don't think that we really consider that. And we tell these sisters to inhale it, suck it up, and show up in feminine energy. And my concern is that we may be lacking some type of compassion for those of us out here that have to change it up. And listen, I understand, because I was listening to a brother who was really respectful in what he was saying, but he was speaking his truth. And I can't do anything but respect when somebody speaks their truth. And their truth in that particular situation was that, he wants a woman that's going to be in feminine energy, that's going to allow him to take the lead, that's going to support him in his endeavors, that's going to get behind him in what he's doing. And that's well and good, and let him and allow him to take the commander seat of the household. And I think that that's right and exact. That's cool, because I do believe that everyone has their place. Everybody plays their spot. Everyone plays their role in this game of life. When you face some challenges in your life and you are responsible for other beings, it makes you a little apprehensive about relinquishing that level of power, because you see in many Lifetime movies, they'll show women that are raising their children with the little means that they got. They fall in love with some guy who comes in there in his full masculine energy. He turns out to be a fuck boy. He takes all of their money. They in dire straits. They in a situation. They in some shit. And you try to move on with your life, right? Then you meet somebody else, and it takes some adjustment. Now, the thing that I want to say is that in order for a brother to really be able to navigate that situation, he's going to have a certain level of patience and God consciousness and compassion. Because just like a lot of men get a hard way, a lot of women absolutely get a hard way out there as well. And it takes, when you're responsible for taking care of other people, it makes it more difficult for you to relinquish that. And I think that needs to be considered. I think it makes it more difficult. It would be real hard for me. I got a career going. I got a nice house. I got a nice vehicle. And I meet a guy, and he's saying all of the right things, and he seems to be about something and everything at the end of the day. And then I just allow him to come and completely take the commander's seat. And then he decides he don't want to be there no more. Where does that leave you? That's where that hardness comes from. See, that hardness right there of having that possibility sitting in the back of your head. That's that hardness. But then unfortunately, that possibility that sits in the back of the head, because we know what we focus on grows. That reticular activation system in the brain, where that crystal, the magnetite, it started attracting. And you start to command more of those experiences. You start attracting more dudes that do shit like that, and they ain't available. And it hardens you even more and more. And so we in this space now where we got this magnetism, where we seem to be attracting individuals that are truly, truly not compatible, or not what you would desire, not available. I've been there, I've done that, no judgment. I'm trying to tell you. I'm coming from a perspective to where I understand how women can be so hard and can be so standoffish. And that right there, it begins to show me that we got a lot of work with this compassion that we got to be doing out here. Because that conversation is going on and we can understand all of that. But we're not accounting for it's always, and you know, because I'm a sister, so I'm going to go there. Yeah, I got you. But it's always, it seems like it has to be the woman that has to change. And we get connected, we got to change our religion, we got to change our system, we got to change our way of being. And I understand that this is the society that we live in. And you know, and I'm here to just bring some thoughts to the table so that we can expand on it. I'm down for the discussion. I want to grow. I want to learn. So let's get it. But it does seem to me that this is what the expectation is. Your man go vegan. You sitting up there pretending like you fucking vegan, sneaking eating chicken wings at your family's house and shit. You a damn ass story, sis. You know what I'm saying? We do that. We do that to be with y'all as women. We do things to ourselves that make us look unnatural. So this is where I'm asking, like, if we can compromise at this particular level for your love, can we not get y'all to compromise that we done been through a change too, because we will fucking give it all up. But life is fucking hard. And we need some patience and we need some understanding out here. We ain't fucking feminine enough now. And now we got a situation where we determining who's a woman and who ain't a woman and all of this foolishness and bullshittery out here. And let me tell you something, them transvestites be doing the motherfucking thing, don't they? They be cleaner than the Board of Health. I fucks with them. They got some sharp shit going on. They know how to dress. They got that shit. And then you go to the shop, they do your hair. They ain't no hater. They get your shit right. You need people like that in your life, on your team. Let's not get it twisted. But fam, no dice on woman. No dice. No dice. Now you get you part of the girl crew, you know what I'm saying? But not all the way. No, not 100%. And that's okay. We get to choose, we get to be that. But that doesn't mean that there's no love at the end of the day. We get caught in these conundrums of the way we think it's supposed to be and how it should be. But back to where I was, where's the compassion? Where's the love? Like, so much is given, so much is required. We can have this debate, we can have this discussion, because I know that there will probably be a few folks that'll show up talking about how they compromised, how it didn't work for them, how somebody dogged them the fuck. They met this chick and she was full of shit. I know I got a couple of friends that done ran into some raggedy ass broads. Broads, I said it.
You know, well, you know, I am ending a 26-year relationship, 23 years of marriage that's ending. So I'm headed towards the single mother thing. But these past 10, 11 years, I've been working on myself.
Mm.
So, I mean, I know what it is that I want and I know what I don't want. So I know what's like compromise. No, I'm not sure about the compromising anymore, because I saw where everything that I did do, where it got me, it wasn't good for me, So I have learned to focus on me I've learned to focus on me and to see what it is I want and I don't want and what I want to attract to me.
Mm.
So um I mean,
Absolutely. And
relating to, I can't relate to this. What everything that you said, I get it. I can relate to it back in the day, but where I'm headed to is it's not. I'm not doing that no more. Not doing none of what I did anymore. Mm-mm.
you know
No.
what? And I'm going to tell you something. Me neither. It doesn't. I don't know. Spirit put this shit in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I can see bigger picture. This is happening on so many levels. It happens. And when peace, Sheila. This is happening on so many levels. And the reason why I'm saying this magnetism thing, because this is an opportunity for us to catch this, to heal this, because I want to make sure that we got compassion for the women that's showing up, that they say is supposedly, quote, in masculine energy,
Because sometimes they don't even have a choice. It's like they have to get things done, and you may not have the proper guidance. The rise of her heart. That's why that
Absolutely.
came about 10 years ago. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
okay, I didn't know what that was about, but I went through all the experiences, and now I have tools to, I mean, just come to me. I'll help you get through that. Mm-mm.
Absolutely. And listen, and I'm saying that too, because listen, we can also look on another level and see, how brothers go through these changes, because you get these women that diminish men, you know what I'm saying, that make them feel
Mm-hmm.
that send them through these changes, that really give them a hard way to go. They sit around, they nag, 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 nag. And I think, like in the book of Proverbs, they said it's like dripping water on a roof or some shit like that. That's just wearing at you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants that. That's a dysfunctional ass relationship either. But I'm talking about somebody who's doing their very best to love somebody, and they're being rejected because you don't like the way that they're presenting themselves. When the hell you link up with somebody like that for, if this is how you felt? Where I'm at on that particular note. But the healing potion that I'm talking about here is how we find ourselves in these situations over and over again. Not that we don't have reason to be where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Can we look at that shit with honest eyes, so that when we move forward, these situations, they continue to repeat themselves over and over again until we get the lesson? And what we end up doing in that energy, in that space, when we don't get clear understanding, brothers looking for women that's not masculine. I'm tired of these type of bras. Women, I don't want no fuck boys, and I don't want this and that and the other. But the situation that's making us hard is the situation we keep calling on. The situation that the brothers don't want is the situation that they keep calling on, because you cannot hold an expectation that you'll get with a woman and then she gets disappointed, her feelings get hurt and everything, and you expect her to stay in a feminine energy, especially, for many of us that have come up in environments that tells you that crying is weak. And so if you're upset in a relationship and you start crying, like most men, men ain't, you know what I'm saying? But because they're told that crying is weak. But what if you see that as a little girl, and you see that, and we get taught that this is the weakness, and then you got to come up out of that energy. I think this happens on so many levels. I've seen this when I worked in social services, where you would see so many individuals really even shift their identities to express themselves as more masculine because it's safer that way.
You're already always protecting yourself. You have this armor.
You have this armor on yourself. But when we don't heal it, we end up putting this armor on ourselves, this masculine energy, because we want to be in feminine energy. Let's make no mistake about, well, you know, most of us do.
I know I do. I mean, you just get, you know, I
right.
love it.
I know I do. And I can come up out of it real quick. Like
yes.
in the matrix, right? Okay. However, I do. That's, you know, I really, really want to be in that energy. Like, I love that shit. Like, I'm a girly girl. I love all of that type of stuff. And I want to be in that energy, but I ain't finna let nobody play me neither. And so we gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta heal that. So we ain't sitting around feeling like we got to protect ourselves. We got to guard ourselves, right? So that we ain't showing up in these streets like, nigga, I wish you would, because I got a thing to say to, you know what I'm saying? We gotta come, you know, we gotta heal that so that we don't keep attracting these situations. And I don't think that we recognize that magnetism as what we focus on grows, that whole law of attraction piece that everybody is talking about, right? And they talk about what is that? Well, basically what you focus on grows, you know? And when you start moving in directions with focused intentions, when you start focusing on that, you start to really begin attracting those experiences to you. And like Nikola Tesla was talking about, the energy, the frequency, and the vibration is those things that get you in alignment, you know, so that you can begin to attract all of those things because you're in alignment for it. And when you are, because the universe, in my experience, from what I've recognized, it doesn't respond to what I would prefer. It responds to where my energy goes. And so if I get into these relationships and I'm focused on, I'm going to have myself a fuck boy, I'm going to attract myself a fuck boy. Or if you know, or if Brother Dante wanted to focus on a fuck girl, he go attract himself the same thing. You heard? That's just,
or if you're just saying, I don't want a fuck boy, I don't want a fuck boy, you probably gonna get a fuck boy because you still focus on, I don't want a fuck boy. You're still attracting that.
Thank you.
So the proper thing is, what do you want? I would like a man that is a provider. He is attentive, you know, he's loving, he respects me, he honors me, he cherishes me, you know, he that's what you want to focus on.
Absolutely. And these are the things that this lesson that we get with Saturn being in Pisces and in Neptune, our ideals. I had to go there because I just noticed a while back before, and I was slightly offended because I express a lot of masculine energy, where a lot of men are telling women who have gone through so many changes in their lives that they're not feminine enough. And I think it's a disservice, and it can be shattering to the ego, you know, when someone is doing their absolute best and they still are told that they're not enough. Then free yourself. And I want to encourage people that if you are in a connection with somebody and they are doing everything that they can to be right with you, and you still feel that they're not enough, you may want to consider freeing yourself. You do nothing for the person by diminishing things that they cannot change. At least they don't have the capacity to do so at that particular time. So what you want someone to do is really to put on a mask and give you an illusion. And this is a time right now where spirit is giving us this grand opportunity to not only just look at relationships. I had to go there, sorry. But I wanted to also talk about magnetisms, about like all of the people that we attract around us and in our circle as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to forget any of those things, because we don't want to act surprised if the lesson starts getting presented to us again. See, this is a time right now for us to really get in check, to get in tune with where our values are at and what shit matters to us and what doesn't at the end of the day. And when we get in tune with that, and not what somebody told us, you know what, bitch, you ain't getting your eyebrows done, and so I don't like a sloppy bitch. I'm gonna let you know, I ain't doing that. Bitch. I don't do that. I ain't doing it, you know? And so we get in these superficial conundrums that disqualify people that's loving you out of your life. And we need to really take heed and take inventory of how we're moving. Because see, this lesson, it shows up over and over again. And this is a part of our magnetism, because we put in this type of energy out here in these streets. You running around talking shit on folks behind their back, you gossiping, you talking about how they ain't got shit. I went to their house, they live in squalor. It's a shame how they operate. And then you wonder why shit ain't working out for you. You attracting that type of shit for your life. You folks on the gross. Word?
Word.
So that whole don't act surprised, you know, that you sitting around folks like that, and then they, you know, but they ain't 100% right with you. Like, let's not act surprised. This is an opportunity for us to really start evaluating our circle. We're these superficial friends, these fair weather cats that's out here. Now, sometimes you got to realize you got to meet people where they're at. Their expectations, sometimes we got unrealistic expectations of folks. Let's be 100%, huh? You can't be expecting folks to be able to show up, be by your side 100% of the time, and they got shit going on in their life. I'm talking about those people who at the end of the day, they really ain't in your corner, and it's really a very superficial relationship, and you can tell at the end of the day, they could give two shits. I'm talking about those particular cats. And those cats right there are those relationships that we want to reevaluate. Because if we don't, these are those relationships that have that potential to bring those major lessons that we keep finding ourselves in the middle. I can't believe this bitch did that. You know what I'm saying? You know, okay, you know, this is an opportunity right now for us to really get that shit in check and be 100% clear. See, then we don't have to show up so hardened, so masculine in this energy and feel like we got to protect ourselves, because we already done got that t-shirt. We been there, we done that. We got the t-shirt and the little lapel pin and all of that shit, right? We graduated from that school. So when that shit comes back to us, we navigating that with mastery. This is an opportunity for us to change the shit that we attract to us. Magnetism. Peace and light, Sheila. What's going on, sis? We sitting up here talking about the things that folks attract, that magnetism. And we just picking it apart. So, you know, I had to get my 2-cent spiel on magnetism and things that we attract by pushing that little relationship thing in there, because I want us to really have some more compassion out here in these streets. We hurting folks out here.
Most definitely. I would agree. You know, when it comes to magnetism and things, that it's so funny, because it's like your scriptures being brought to you. You know, you got to read situations. And so when something is being brought to you, it's a script. You wrote it, you know. Are you gonna read it, or are you just gonna act in it? Like how are you gonna, somebody give you a scroll, right? You can do a lot of things with it. You can use it as a fly swatter. You can read it. You can turn it into a paper airplane. You can do whatever. You can take heed to what's written in it. And so when these situations are brought to us, how we react to them, you know, I was listening to somebody, I can't remember who, but it's like it's a difference between reacting and responding, right? So even like when you get medications at the doctor's and you break out, or there is an allergic reaction, then we know the reaction wasn't good for you. But if they give you medications, or if you take herbs and your body responds to it, then it's good for you. So we need to, when it comes to the things that we magnetize, our how we connect with it is definitely going to be key to how we have the experience. So we have to start responding to things in lieu of reacting to them, you know. And no matter what level of vibrational frequency it's on, it's in your awareness, you attracted it to you somehow. This is why embracing yourself fully is key, because you know you got some fuck shit about yourself, and everything deserves an upgrade. So if you attract some more fuck shit in your energy, instead of calling it what you know it is, and or denying that you have that in your circumference, acknowledge it for what it is. Maybe it's time for your fuck shit to get upgraded too. You know what I'm saying? So having the, because everything, when something is on the bottom and you get elevated, even the bottom goes up. So you know, the fuck shit of yourself gets an elevation. And you know, I tell this to people so they don't be so screwed up about where they are at any particular point in life. You measure yourself by what you attract to yourself, but you put the value in how you respond, right? And that's where the value comes in. And so even I was talking to a young lady today about her relationship, and she was saying how her boyfriend told her some things about she doesn't cook enough, and that she's malice. And she was like, that word struck a nerve with her, because she doesn't use that word, and then that is not a word that would describe her at all. And I said, well, he's speaking to somebody else about your situation. You know, this is what was coming to me. I said, and so she used that word based off of the information that he's giving her. So he's giving her a partial story about your relationship. And if he said that you don't cook enough, it's because he's eating someplace else. Now, you know, I wasn't meaning that sexually or anything. It's just the food, right? I said, so somebody is becoming his heroine in regards to a situation that he's sharing, that he's looked at as the victim. I said, so this could be anybody. It could be a family member. It could be a love interest. It could be just somebody who he needs to talk to. I said, so right now your grounding thing is you need to attract intimate conversation with him. I said, you know, based off what I said, I don't want you to go run and accuse him of this, that, and the other. I said, but baseline, he's sharing partial information. So he's getting counseled partially. So that's the problem. I said, so now we know that you guys need a foundational base of communicating better. Everything could be better. So as long as you're going with the intentions, when you talk to him with the intentions on things being better, you don't have to worry about bringing the wrong energy. Everything you feel, you got to feel it, because it's to trigger you to acknowledge some things within yourself. If you didn't care about making this relationship better, you wouldn't be talking to me about it now, right? So, you know, and one of the things I told her, I said, he mentioned food. I said, so that is something that he is saying he want you to do more of, is cook. Now, we're modern women and we know that we don't have to cook. We can buy food, this, that, and the other. You guys don't have any children between you, so you're kind of unlimited and you can attract the best of everything that you want. I said, but the considerations that he's asking for is food. I said, now, if you want to have more conversations with him, here's the trick. Cook the food, put your energy in it. After he eats, have these conversations so both of your needs can be met in that fellowship during that time. And then you can ask him if he would like to have these conversations scheduled until it becomes a part of your currency, until you magnetize, until you create that environment in your home where you're always going to be able to have that communication open for these anomalies that come up as you grow in your relationship. I said, so this is what you want to attract. You put it into practice. They call doctors and lawyers practice. And that is how they get the doctorate, you know, because they are forever practicing.
Yes.
So if you're in a relationship, you're going to need to forever practice, and that's okay. You know, so when you purposely put yourself in the mind frame of better, you're going to attract these situations that you need to get better at, and you shouldn't run from them, but know that everything deserves an upgrade, even your fuck shit. So that's how I look at things. I could always do my fuck shit better than I did it the last time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Better. And when we start focusing on doing better, we start attracting better. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. This is such an opportunity for us to really overcome a lot of limitations that's been holding us back. And the reason why I really brought it in there that way, because I do feel like we have some disparate thinking on some levels. However, that doesn't disqualify the feelings of how other people are processing this whole situation. The brother's got a legitimate bitch out there, but there's mitigating factors that make us dive deeper. If we can take it, if we can use what we see, what we know, and really have that compassion enough, then we will be able to heal, to transcend, so that we don't keep going in this same direction. When we become a little bit more expansive, that doesn't mean that it's not happening, that it's not going down that way, and that there aren't adjustments that need to be made. But one of the things that we can do is recognize that everybody is having their own and unique experience. And when we do that, and when we start moving ourselves into this space of acceptance, we start freeing up our energy so that we're not attracting those things that we don't want. We start attracting things that we do want because we're moving into a space of acceptance. We're not focused on the shit that doesn't, like Sheila say, the fuck shit that doesn't, that we ain't appreciating at that particular time, bringing more of it to us. This is one of those things that we have to be able to move past, or we'll continue to see that pattern repeating itself over and over again. We getting a really grand opportunity for us to get in here and make some corrections. Because if you are with a woman that's feminine, or with a man, I mean, a man that's feminine, or a woman that's masculine, and it don't sit right with you, and there's no adjustments being made, and you're not able to make that leeway, this is an opportunity for you to evaluate if this is where you want to be at, because this is an opportunity for us to get clarity in our relationships and our connections. Do we want to transcend that, or do we want to keep going where we're at? But in the meantime, as long as we sit back and we gridlocked in this position like that, and we focus on all of those things that we don't want, we start attracting more of it. And that's the same thing with money, because you know what, Sheila, me and Goddess Rah was talking about, you know, working with Emmett Till, because you heard about the woman who was never held accountable for that whole situation and everything. And Emmett Till, his name basically, it means to bring forth currency, to bring forth money. And so we put him up on the altar and pay him some homage and pay him, you know what I'm saying? And definitely Ashe to him again. And working with him because of that vibration in his name, you know, to cultivate that energy within our lives. And one of the things I forgot, where did I get this from? I think this was Wealth Magazine. It was a billionaire, and he said the more money that you save and accumulate, the more money you attract. Money goes where it's loved and respected. The more positive emotions that you associate with money, the more opportunities you will attract to acquire more. That goes across the board, I think, in my humble opinion. I think that anything that we save, we hold in our hearts, we accumulate more of it. We start attracting more of that into our lives. So if we sitting around, we holding, you know what I'm saying? We got enemies out here. We can't trust motherfuckers out here in these streets. We attracted more of that. We getting more of that. But if we sitting back and we focusing on the vibration of love and how, you know, we trying to connect with like-minded individuals and folks that's in our corner and folks that's supporting us, and that's where our energy is focusing on, we get in that as well. And the same thing with money. When your vibration is high with money, then you attract more. That's one of the things that I got to work out like nobody's business. Like poverty put his foot in my ass. And so, you know, I'd be afraid to even have discussions about money. Oh, you know what? Listen, that's over my head. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. And, you know, and then paying my bills, I'm pissed about that. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm anticipating doom down the line.
Oh, yeah, you putting the wrong energy into that.
I got to tell you something, right? Because, you know, all my life, we just heard about
all your life you had to fight. Oh, yeah.
How it's a struggle to have money and it don't grow on a tree. What the hell is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You know, everything with money was a situation that caused a lot of anxiety and aggravation in my family. And so I have gotten the download, y'all. So, you know, I've been doing a lot of work. As a matter of fact, I did the lucky blueprint, the wealth and abundance thing. Don't you know, last night I was supposed to do the damn nighttime one. If you don't do, see, this is serious. You got to do this shit for 44 days, right?
Yeah.
And then every so many days, you do the nighttime meditation, right? You forget that shit one day. You got to do it all over again. I'm so fucking pissed. I was halfway through that shit, man. I said, you know what? I'm getting my life together. I'm going to get it. But anyway, I'm going to call it right here. I want to thank you guys so much for giving up your time, your space, your energy, and just coming to build here. See, this magnetism thing, we could have went down so many portals dealing with this subject. And I think that because I was just under this impression that no one really held that much of an interest in what we talk about, that, you know, I just, you know, send it out with the link, you know what I'm saying? However, I missed the email that I got from Kayla, who asked me, like, make sure you tell us what we're talking about so that we can kind of get our head prepared for it and everything. And so I definitely want to make sure that I'm doing that. And I also wanted to reach out to you guys to see if there was anything that was on your mind that spirit had on your heart to deal with and to talk about.
I like dealing with the organic just coming into the conversation because, you know, life is lifing on so many levels. And it's like, you know, my pattern of what I've been magnetizing to myself is no matter what's being spoken, I can relate, you know, and there's a story, there's a connection. So I'm getting so much confirmation about how I am seeing myself in everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's I'm not above, I'm not below. I am connecting in a manner of which I am recognizing the power of that. the power of being able to fellowship, the power of being able to relate. And then any topic spoken of, it's just validating to me that I'm really living this shit, right? You have to be your cheerleader. Like, I live this shit. Even when I'm just getting a cup of water, when I'm putting alcohol on my feet or soaking, I live this shit. So every little thing I could use, and we could speak about it in the spirit realm, in other dimensions, you know, and metaphysically, or we can just talk straight nigga shit and still really get down to the crux of what it is. So it's just really, really these conversations, these whatever I call them fellowships. And we're recording them and we're putting them out there into the ethers, and then you're sharing them. We can go back and find more value in what we said or what we didn't say, and then just grow from that. So I'm good with all of it. I came in a little late because I had to finish chopping it up with a young lady about her daughter and stuff. But I was like, I gotta catch the last of my people. I get back, bitch.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Yeah, and I just appreciate you guys so much. You know, Brother Dante's at work, you know, and everybody has these busy schedules and everything. And so, you know, I have so much appreciation for that. I really think that our discussions, I want us to really begin getting into this place because, you know, for me, I was feeling like, you know, our conversations were a little clogged and a little stagnant on some levels, and some days they really take off, but that's a comfort level. And, you know, as we connect with each other, I do believe that we're going to open so many more portals, because I'm an astrology nerd. So I'm always looking at shit from the perspective of astrology and numerology and shit like that. That's my groove. That's my jam. But then when we get other people to the table, even those individuals that's a part of the soul family that don't touch none of the occult sciences or anything like that, they're just going to give their observation on how they see this energy expressing itself. And it's going to give us more, maybe a grounded version, maybe, you know, maybe a whole nother perspective that we never even thought of. And this is why those are so important as far as I'm concerned, with all of these discussions and everything. Spirit was really putting in my heart. Initially, I was going through the tarot card system because the tarot cards is a system of enlightenment. Another version of enlightenment. It takes you through like the steps that we go through energetically and everything. And I was pulling those cards according to how our energy was. And it just seemed like it was always so divine how the astrology would always wind up with it. So then when Spirit started letting me know that, you know, I need to start reaching out to the family on the Cypher to see if they may have anything that they may want to discuss, then I'd stop pulling the cards. And if no one came up with anything, then I would just like go into meditation and see what would come up and everything. But I ain't really do any of that because, again, I wanted to step back into the Cypher. I'm down for whatever because, see, I'm the type of sister that I can come up with absolutely no topic and just pull cards and let Spirit take the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of like it. Yeah, because it kind of feels you know, it's like when we have one subject, it kind of makes it feel like I'm in a box a little bit.
Okay.
But that's just for me. Kind of feel like I'm in a box a little bit and trying to stick to that one thing.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like when
let's be random.
Yeah, like it just like a phone conversation. You notice how it's so broad but it all comes together. It's all connected.
Yeah, absolutely. It just sure in the hell is. So hey, shit, let's go ahead and do all of that then. Let's get in here and let's just keep it broad, keep it, you know, keep it $150, keep it whatever. And then if we are at a loss, we'll let Spirit get in there and give us something to sip on.
Yes.
You know, back in the days when they used to run numbers, you know, run numbers before they had the lottery, they would run numbers and they would get their numbers based off of whatever came in the newspaper that day, you know? So that's how they would choose the number. And so, people would be like, put $3 on, or put 10 cents on 357 or whatever. And then the next day, whatever they used from the newspaper, that was the number that fell that day. That was, it was fair. Everybody had access to the newspaper and could look at it. So that's the kind of energy that I see us working with. It's whatever is in the day. You know what I'm saying? That's relative to us. You mentioned Emmett Till. And you spell Emmett backwards, his name is time. And that's the currency that we all value, that we have one from the other. You know what I'm saying? We value the time that we sit. That's why I was just like, bitch, I gotta go. My people on. I value this time. And so the time, once we all agree on that and we make room and space for that. So when we get in this space and we already value the time that we share up in here, it's an unlimited amount of whatever we can reach for, whatever is necessary for us as a collective, as an individual. We gonna get that shit in that time. We gonna get that. Because y'all put them on the altar there, so y'all did it.
Yeah. Let's get it. And I'm going to tell you something. And that was so on time, Goddess Rah and Shelia, because I want y'all to know that this is exactly where my vision was. This is why I call it the Cypher, because we were all supposed to come up here and randomly bring shit to the table. But initially, it didn't, you know what I'm saying? It didn't jibe like that. But we can definitely, let's get it cracking. You know what I'm saying?
Because it'd be so many things, so many different anomalies that relate one to the next. We can Hansel and Gretel all of our different experiences together and be like, damn. And that is data. That is a whole analogy that is unique to us, or whoever is in the Cypher that day. That's a whole portal that we're creating of conversation that is connected, that would have not ever connected if we didn't value our time together. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with all of that.
I am too. I am so with it. And I feel so much freer. You know what I'm saying? With that, right, with that whole thing. Let's get the hell up out of that box, because I certainly, you know what I'm saying? I certainly
felt cramped.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was starting to weigh a little heavy, and you guys like really helped me to be able, I show up to the party late sometimes, so, in the head, I show up late sometimes. So, sometimes y'all gotta nudge me. I promise y'all, I will not be offended by somebody nudging me like, hey, you know what? You could do this, there's a lot of things. I gotta tell y'all something. I know it's not an excuse, but it is my truth. Ignorance is what it is. I just don't know. Well,
you know what? It was just on the road to better.
Absolutely.
Remember, everything is on the road to better. I don't give a fuck. We on the road to better now. These are the things that gotta be acknowledged as far as growth and when it comes to fellowshipping, there is a process of being comfortable, having the relatability, you know what I'm saying? All of those things gotta be worked out so you can understanding where somebody is coming from. Communication is so fucking important. And people don't take the time to build around what's necessary to know and share so points can get across. If we're building portals, points got to get across from one to the next in order to create some things, for the circumferences to turn out right, for the angles, you know what I'm saying? So we doing all of that. If you come slow to the party, it was because we needed to slow down. We not going nowhere you ain't coming. Just what it is, when you build on conversations, man, I enjoy the fellowship. I've been such an introvert for so long. We're just like, man, fuck these people. I don't want to hear these, because that's just been, and it's just like, that's done as a result of not wanting to be in those cycles that we just talked about, not wanting to be constricted and confined into how something should be said. Or it took me a long time to get my fucking voice. I'm ready to use them shits. You know what I'm saying? So
Let's do it.
I'm here
Yes,
for it. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm here for and everything you said. It's just, I swear, it's almost like we live in kind of parallel lives sometimes. It's insane how you connect with soul family and they are in a different location, different experience, but the same shit. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
absolutely.
Wow, wow. But y'all, thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me your time, giving me your energy, and definitely your insight. Because yeah, I was kind of struggling, and I so appreciate that. So we go definitely make this a true cipher by
Yeah,
allowing us to cipher, huh?
Yes.
absolutely.
Let's get it.
Serious
Yeah, let's
cipher.
get it. Well, hey, listen. So we go get back next week and we go do some things differently and it's gonna look a whole lot different. So let's get it, y'all.
All right.
All right, y'all. So thank you guys so much for coming out. We gonna call it today. Peace and light, peace and love, everybody. So much love to y'all. Peace.
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 Peace.